970 AM. We are The Source, WOCA.
All right, thank you. 5 minutes after 8 o'clock. It's a beautiful looking Monday morning. Hope you're doing well. And 56 degrees right now. Let's see what the forecast is calling for. It is calling for a 20% chance of rain, otherwise partly cloudy skies, and not a bad day. High temperatures only 76 degrees. Wow. Wow, that is cool, huh? 76 degrees. No wonder I needed a quilt last night.
Yeah, had all my windows open yesterday morning and last night and everything, and I love that. It just airs out the house.
Well, I would have had my window open, but there was somebody was playing that funky music next door.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of loud. Anyway, so yeah, not too bad. Let's see. Tomorrow it warms up again. 10% chance of rain tomorrow, but highs in the lower 80s. But today, highs in the upper 70s. Wow,
Nice.
I'm sort of kind of looking forward to this season that's now beginning. We drove yesterday past the Riley Arts Center. I know some people have been there for the preview and stuff.
House,
We didn't go to that, but it's such a beautiful. I mean, they've done such a good job with the exterior, and the photos I've seen of the interior look wonderful as well. It's a wonderful thing that they have taken what was being considered for destruction and making it into this beautiful, usable facility for the community to benefit from. And I don't know how many of you. Gosh, I drove through the area, and I don't remember a big lake to the east side of that water, right? It's like a rather large, long Finger Lake that is over there now. Did they build that? Did I just never notice it?
I think it used to be a retention area, but now it looks like a thriving lake.
And I saw a little child fishing there with his daddy, and very cool. So where's Galen this morning? We don't see Galen on the phone.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he had to stay up there in
Georgia.
Yeah, and didn't come back, or maybe he's en route to go back again.
The public, before we do our thing with retirement visualization, you have a chance to name a new moth.
Really?
A new moth has been discovered.
Isn't that cool?
An auction on eBay will allow the public to make a different kind of purchase as they peruse the used clothing, electronics, and war relics on the site. Up for sale, the naming rights to a new moth.
Aw. That is cool.
What would you name it?
When you think it, well, I have to look at it first.
Sweater eater. Name it a sweater eater. Imagine that.
Oh, there you go.
Sweater eater.
Yeah.
A moth that weighs less than an ounce and measures about an inch was discovered 8 years ago at White Sands National Monument in New Mexico by Eric H. Metzler, who is, of course, an entomologist.
Well, then name it White Sands.
The rigorous process to have a new species approved has taken several years, but now Metzler, who is a volunteer at the park, is ready to give his flying friend a name. That honor is usually bestowed to the person who made the finding, which would be Metzler. It's a Metzler moth, right?
Yes.
But Metzler wanted to give back to the Western National Parks Association, which has funded some of his research, so he asked the organization to start an online auction for the naming rights and to take the proceeds for themselves.
Oh, nice.
How about that?
Isn't that unselfish? I love that.
Metzler said, I am not a rich man and I don't have a lot of money to give to charity, but this is the way I could give them money in the form of service. I could use my brains to help them.
He might not be rich monetarily, but he's rich in all other ways.
Sounds like a nice guy.
Yeah.
There's phone is ringing. Is this Galen? Good morning. Is that you, Galen?
Hey, Larry. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
Where are you?
I am on the road.
Okay. Heading to Gainesville or out of state again?
Yes. Yeah.
No. Okay. Did you have a good weekend?
I did.
Okay.
I sure did.
Did you happen to hear us talking about this moth species that you can go on to eBay and perhaps become the winner who names it?
I did hear about that. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. The auction went live Saturday on eBay and ends on the 23rd. The bidding starts at $500. What would you name it?
Should be White Sands.
Have any good
names? That's where it was
found.
So,
so you think somebody would name it the Metzler, the guy who founded it, who found it, whatever?
No, they'll come up with something else.
Sweater eater.
Yeah.
I like that one. That's a clever. That's very clever name.
There you go.
Imagine naming it Mothballs. Mothballs.
Oh, that's
Wouldn't
another
it just
clever
be
name.
balls at that point?
Yeah.
Balls.
Just balls. Today's only high temperature today, 76 degrees. Not going to be warm at all today.
It's going to be perfect. It's going to be nice Florida winter.
Oh, you like it like that, huh?
No, I'm ready for it to get hot already.
Tomorrow it'll be 83.
Couple of days is nice, but yeah.
Do you know by chance where we're doing the Christmas parade? I know it's early to talk about this. Are we doing it from your place or no? Or you don't know?
I sure hope so. You are invited to broadcast live from our donor center.
I don't know where we're doing.
We do the exact same thing. I hope you are.
That was fun. I guess it's up to Joe and Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think we worked out all the kinks last year.
Yeah.
Should be much easier this year.
And as long as they get a plane for a float, and Galen's in the cockpit.
That's the big thing. It's that we need a plane on. I want to ride a plane down Silver Springs Boulevard. That's what I'm looking for.
So let's see. What's the state of the blood supply? I have a fun topic today, and I'll explain why in a second. But what's the state of the blood supply?
Right now, we need O negatives and we need platelet donors. That's exactly where we're at. Had a lot of traumas over the weekend, and we just need a lot of O negatives. A lot of O negatives.
What a shame.
So donate blood and make sure there's a blood supply. Yeah. And guess what? What's that? People have been donating. I can't think it was me.
Oh, okay.
I think I squeaked my own chair and didn't know what it was. Anyway, so donate blood. Don't forget to thank Penn Flooring for that important message and Palm Gardens, because those two companies have sponsored this segment with Galen Unold now for quite some time. Penn Flooring has been in business for over 25 years, speaking about for quite some time. They have a spacious showroom. I saw it a couple times yesterday. I was driving down that road. And the showroom is at 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just by the McKay-Williams Bridge on the far side of it if you're coming from Pine Avenue. Otherwise, it's on the near side if you're coming from the other side. It would be on the right side if you're coming from Pine, right?
Yeah, the north side.
Anyway, go thank the folks at Penn Flooring, get some new flooring. And thank the folks at Palm Garden also, and visit one of their chats at the garden. They have these chats now. The one that's upcoming is an attorney who will explain to you, right?
This Thursday,
which kind of documents you should have in place just in case you should fall ill and need an assisted living facility, or perhaps you die, and it could happen too.
Yeah.
Eventually it happens to all of us, which is kind of what I want to talk to Galen about.
Dying.
No, not dying. Not dying.
I was about to say, what are we going to talk about?
No, we're going to talk about retirement. Let me go to the phone first. I'll explain in a second, Lucy.
All right.
People hate when I call him Lucy. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey.
I'd like to make a comment. I just waited to get to work so I could stop to call you.
Okay.
About earlier what you were talking about, why these factions of different people are fighting and they hate each other. And you've got to understand. I think that the real issue is that the fact of communication. During when we went into Afghanistan. There was a group of people. I have no idea who they were, but it was on the news. Actually, I think it was Anderson Cooper actually announced it, that they had gone around into these mountainous regions of Afghanistan and talking to the village people, and 85% of those people did not know that 9/11 the attack on 9/11 had occurred. And they did not know why the Americans were in Afghanistan. Unfortunately, we base our knowledge of things on information that we receive from an external source usually. And you've got to understand, these people, not everybody over there is walking around with an iPhone, a cell phone. Here, if you're 3 years old or above, you have a cell phone and you're in touch with the internet. And you're in touch with everybody around you, and texting. The information is so instant, which is why we're a nation of instant gratification. But you got to understand that, and also like 2,000 years ago, that communication wasn't instant. Somebody might have said something, and then 3, 4, 5, 6 days, weeks, months later, somebody repeated it in another location. And believe it or not, they may not have done it, or repeated it verbatim. They might have said something about, somebody's gun or something. Yeah. And when it got back to the guy, he had said something about his grandmother. And,
but you would
I believe that's the problem. It's a breakdown of communication.
I appreciate what you're saying, and I understand what you're saying. I think the leaders, though, should be up to date, up to par. So the people who are calling the shots, now, if there are renegades, just citizens who decide to blow up people, that happens all the time too. But I mean,
I'm not saying all people. I'm just saying, but you look at the area over there and the number of people, and so what are they doing? They're going in, they're recruiting people of ignorance. I mean, the
yes,
are easily led. Is that right?
Absolutely, and so are some of the Americans that they've been recruiting too. Unfortunately, even though they have their iPhones and their communication technology, they're just not listening to it. They're not looking at it correctly, or they're being misled, or whatever.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100%. That's correct. There are people who, no matter how much information they have, but they're only taking the amount of the information that they want to hear. Some people only hear what they want to hear.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, and that's that's the job. And what we're talking about, Galen, if you didn't hear us talk about, John Kerry has a mission this week to try to once again get the Palestinians and the Israelis to play nice, to put it simply. And it's just one of those things. Like, when are they ever gonna actually do this? It's been thousands of years.
I don't believe that we will ever establish a full democracy in the Middle East as far as Afghanistan or Iraq go. I think that
maybe not.
Their psyche is already embedded so deeply in themselves and their children and their children's children from years and years and years, hundreds of years, and it's very similar to the. I used to hate all the British because I'm Irish. And now I don't. I only dislike the ones that are still occupying Northern Ireland. I have a deep concern, but through a little bit of education, I found that not all of the Brits really believe that what's going on in Northern Ireland is...
Oh, yeah. Paul McCartney had a whole song about it. Give Ireland back to the Irish. Remember that song?
Oh, you don't want to hear all of them, I can tell you. Some of them you couldn't play on the air, but...
All right, let me take... I appreciate your thoughts on everything. Thank you, sir, for calling in.
Bye-bye.
Galen, let's take that break, and when we come back, what I have for you is something kind of fun. I'll explain it on the other side. This is WLCA. Where's my button? Here's the button. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Times of clouds and sunshine and breezy today. There can be a shower, even a thunder shower in spots along the coast. The high today 75 to 79. And partly cloudy tonight, lows ranging from 59 in the coolest inland spots to 71 along the coast. Tomorrow, clouds and some sun and quite breezy. There may be a shower along the coast. The high 80 to 84. For Wednesday, partly sunny and breezy again. A shower at the coast. The high 80 to 84. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
If you're anything like I was, the thought of getting older was the last thing on your mind. But here we are. For me, it started slowly. The lack of energy, never being in the mood, and when I was, I could never perform at my best. I tried the pills and other treatments with minimal results, and all but given up on my sex life. Then, I found the doctors at New Male Medical Center. Wow, they made a new male out of me. Feel like I'm 25 again. I have renewed vigor, so much more energy, and no longer worry about my performance. New Male treated me like my situation was one of a kind, with a custom treatment plan that really works. I feel great. They can create one for you too. It does not matter if you suffer from low testosterone, erectile dysfunction, or just want to last longer. New Male will help you.
Call New Male Medical Center today at 352-404-4779. 352-404-4779. That's 352-404-4779. It will change your life. 352-404-4779.
Robin, want to come with me to Palm Garden for the next Chats at the Garden?
Sure, when is it?
Thursday, October 22nd from 2 to 3. Local attorney Shannon Mulkey will be speaking about the 5 most important documents we should all have in place.
The Chats in the Garden programs at Palm Garden are such a great opportunity to learn and network.
The public is invited, and there will be refreshments.
Palm Garden is at the corner of Southwest 27th Avenue and 34th Street.
For more information, call 854-6262 for Palm Garden.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Over the past 10 years, most fire stations phased out the poles and replaced them with either stairs or the latest weapon in firefighting, the fireman's slide. Simply locking eyes with somebody makes them seem more attractive than someone who isn't looking your way. You're going to love this new type of therapy. It's bibliotherapy. Basically, a therapist recommends books to help you work through whatever issues you may have.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line and a new spoiler and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
All right, 21 minutes after 8 o'clock. Galen Unold is on the phone from LifeSouth, and gosh, we're covering the Middle East. We're covering naming a moth, and now we're going to talk about our retirement.
Yay.
Galen, 40 years ago, there was a study, or whatever you call it, where they were asking people who were in their 40s at that time to write down their visualized idea, to visualize their retirement and to put it in writing. Mm-hmm. Like, how do you visualize yourself when you're in retirement years, and what do you picture yourself doing? So they went back to those people to see how many of them were living the life that they visualized, and it was amazing how many of them were doing that. They were living. So I mean, I don't know what they wrote down. I hope to live in the villages, driving a golf cart and playing golf a lot. I don't know. So I wanted to ask you, if you could do that, I mean, not to write it down, but how do you visualize your retirement? What do you picture?
Wow, it seems like it's a long way from now. I mean, retirement seems so far off. I don't know, being a grandfather, I hope. Right? 40 years? Yeah, that's about right.
And living in Ocala, living somewhere else?
I don't know. I want to live near the water somewhere. I want to live, near the ocean. So, if I had my dream, so we'll see. That's the dream, is to live near the ocean somewhere.
The ocean or the Gulf? Does it matter to you?
Yeah, no. The Gulf is the ocean. It's so I count that as part of it.
Okay.
As long as you can have a big boat, you can fish.
Don't even need a big boat.
Oh.
I'll take a dock.
And what's life like? You get up at 7 a.m., 6 a.m.?
Yeah, I don't sleep late anyway, so I don't know. Putz around. I'd like to take a long time and figure that out. I just need somebody to pay for me to have a sabbatical to really plan my retirement properly.
So you could write it all out. So would you be still engaged in the things that you love to do or to be a spectator of, like sports?
I would hope so. Yeah, I don't think that would change. I would hope that I would be involved in some way, shape, or form in the community. I mean, because that's just important to me. So in a way, you would have some kind of a I don't know if a hobby is the right word, but some kind of a occupation. What's it called when it's not an occupation? A preoccupation? I would hope I would have lots of hobbies.
But I mean, something that's similar to what you're doing now, as far as doing something.
Probably, yeah. I would think so. Yeah, I mean, I would need something. Yeah, I don't know. It's just hard to think about that right now, to be honest with you. I haven't put any thought into that at all. I mean, financially I have, but not mentally and trying to decide what that is.
Right. So you putting the money away and all that.
And that's how a person can have a good retirement. You have to put money away, otherwise you're scraping the bottom. You can't
more like
enjoy
to survive.
Do you know what I've often thought about
like to survive.
with the retirement? I think the people who live in the northern cities, and maybe this is true for Miami too, but the more expensive cities, put it that way, I think they have an easier way to retire, especially to this part of the world, to Florida, to this part of Florida, because they've got $1 million invested in a house, and when they sell it for $1 million, they come down here and they have $1 million, and they can buy a $100,000 home and be fine.
Yeah.
And they've got all that cash left over.
Mm-hmm.
But down here they're not making as much. You know what I mean? So at the end of their work years, they don't have this house that they can sell and then move to a cheaper area because they're living in the cheaper area.
Yeah, I mean, if their house is paid for and if it didn't, take a huge nosedive in the market crash of, 07, 08, things like that, yeah, absolutely.
But then again,
we know that happened, yeah.
But then again, you didn't name one thing that required a whole lot of money, really.
Oh, the house or some place to live on the beach, maybe even a condo. I don't know.
That's true. A beach house would cost a lot of money. The insurance will cost a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's a dream right now.
But you still need money to pay your electric bill and your grocery bill and your gasoline.
Absolutely.
That's not going to go away.
But that's not dreaming. This is about dreaming. What do you envision yourself? Something fun. Do you picture yourself going, like, traveling anywhere?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, there are places I want to go. I want to take my wife to Greece. I've always wanted to go to Greece, so that's the only thing on my bucket list.
Oh, that'd be beautiful.
What's in Greece that you like?
I just want to see the origins of that place and go to the Greek islands and the beautiful water and everything that's in Greece.
Yeah, TJ loved it when he was there.
Really?
I mean, it's just, I don't want to go there with my kids. That's one of the few places I don't want to go. I just want my wife and I to go to Greece. Everywhere else, I'll take my kids.
Yeah,
sounds fun.
Not being selfish.
Hold on, the phone rang. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. I was listening to you talking about retirement and selling your house up north for all that money.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's only like certain parts of the country, like California. For a long time, you could sell a house for a little 1,100 square foot place for $800,000 and come down here and get a mansion. But when we moved here, we sold our home, and it wasn't. Our property values are a little more, but we got a little bit out of that and moved down here. But it was the property taxes that kill you.
Yeah.
Up there north. Yeah, I have a little house in West Dallas that I rent, and my taxes are $4,200 a year, and it's only a 900 square foot home. So
and where's West Dallas? That's Wisconsin?
Your taxes force you out, and that's why so many people, the weather and the taxes are the two number one reasons.
That's true, too.
But it's, but it's sad that a lot of people, you're forced to move out of an area you like because you don't no longer have that income. Sure, you put money into 401ks and that, but the taxes really hurt you. Yeah. Yeah, we moved from our house, and our taxes in our house was like almost $5,000. We moved.
So what do you? But Linda, have a little fun with this topic. You're talking about the money. Well, what about your retirement? Do you want to go fishing? Do you want to go visiting countries? Do you want to?
Well, I think you know what I want to do.
I do.
I just got to
go to every Packer game.
What?
I've got to do volunteer work.
So you'll still be doing what you do now? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
You do that full time. That's a hobby now.
With dogs.
Whatever. Yeah, probably animals.
You know who we have coming up later on. We have a lady who not only can talk to animals, but was also a star telephone sex operator.
That's right.
Oh, I was going to say Huey can talk to animals, but I don't. But I know he can talk with her.
I wasn't sure where she was going with that.
Yeah, that's one of those times where you don't want
Linda.
to call in and say, "Oh, I recognize your voice." You don't want that to happen.
I thought that's what she was going to say.
Yeah,
we can do that.
Not worth it. I'm sure Hugh will call in.
That's too funny. That's what says. I said, if you could do this, if you were a phone sex superstar, would you even tell anybody? Yeah, that's what I did for a living. Too funny. All right, Galen, where's the Bloodmobile today?
Bloodmobile today is actually at the Walmart on Bahia Road, so the new one out there in the Shores.
Oh, okay.
All right, go donate blood at the Bloodmobile or At LifeSouth, which is on Silver Springs Boulevard, right next door to the Cascades.
Absolutely.
I went there for the first time since we moved here. I walked downstairs in the Cascades. Nothing looked different, except for the fact that the little fenced-in area that used to have our dish antennas is gone, and they put a gazebo in its place.
That's cool.
There you go.
It looks nice, actually. All right, Galen, thank you for everything you do. Please be careful, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Oh, sounds great. Thanks, Larry.
All
Thanks,
right.
Robin.
We'll be
Bye
right
all.
back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. Secretary of State John Kerry to meet with Israeli and Palestinian leaders separately this week over the recent violence in the latest incident.
A 21-year-old Arab Israeli opened fire at a bus station in southern Israel. Mohamed Al-Okbi also had a knife. He killed an Israeli soldier and wounded 10. The attacker was killed in addition to an Eritrean migrant who was shot during the violence.
Fox Radio's Jessica Guller in Jerusalem. Forecasters expect Hurricane Olaf, now far out over the Pacific, to strengthen. It's already packing winds up to 100 miles per hour. In the baseball playoffs, the Mets beat the Cubs 4-1. Daniel Murphy, who homered, talked about facing Cub ace Jake Arrieta and the role of Mets pitcher Noah Syndergaard.
He put together one of the best second halves ever. And so for us to get three and Noah to be able to match him and then turn it over to the bullpen, it was a really good win.
The Mets lead the best-of-7 series 2-0. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Wildfires burn millions of acres each year. And each year, wildland firefighters like Fire Chief James Hall battle to contain them. But they can't do it alone.
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile. It can ignite and destroy your home, your community, or more. That single ember can be just as dangerous as the wildfire itself. But you can do something firefighters can't. You can act now to prepare your home and your community for wildfire. You can reduce the risk. Do your part. Go to fireadaptive.org.
Get Fire